Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from Hy-Vee right here in the Madison area. It's our I say it's our dietitian every time, like we own her, but we don't. She helps us out voluntarily. Andrea Miller, welcome back to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Thank you for coming back, and we got a great segment to talk about today as we take a look at being fit, physical fitness, sports, athletes. You're going to want to pay attention on this one, and people like me, we also want to pay attention because we're curious. Physical fitness and nutrition. Some of the diets you hear from people who are a part of these workout things, it's just crazy. And I guess when you first are looking at this is how much exercise do you really need to burn off the foods or really make this work for you?
Yeah, that's a good question. We hear about that a lot in terms of food and exercise kind of getting intermingled together. And I guess my first recommendation would be to keep them included for our overall health, but not to blur the lines too much. So if you've ever heard that term, you can't outrun a poor diet, that's kind of
Guilty.
Your answer. That's kind of your answer here, So if you're kind of sitting back and, I've heard people say, well, I run so I could eat whatever I want, or I work out so I can eat, that kind of thing. That's kind of stretching the use a little bit of food and exercise and kind of intertwining them in kind of a negative way, right? So, the truth of the matter is we need to eat every single day, and it's great to exercise for our health. So how can we look at that as making food work for us, rather than thinking, oh gosh, if I eat this, how much do I have to work out to burn it off? Or I kind of talk to people about, it's easier to not eat a donut than it is to try to burn off a donut. And the message here isn't don't eat donuts because they can fit. It's just fit it into your normal eating day and don't feel like you have to work something off after you eat it.
Yeah, that's a really good tip there, and something I know you've told me before. So take it to heart here. But I asked this question to my doctor recently, and if it's to lose weight versus eating, how do I choose? Do I, for what I'm eating, do I worry about more on the eating side, or do I worry more about, well, I just got to work this off? So and my question, which one comes first? But
sure.
I know what you're going to say.
So as far as, it's completely possible. And actually, I'm not going to use the word easier because that would make it seem like it was easy. It still takes intention. It still takes work, but it's more manageable to look at overall weight control by modifying your eating habits than, again, it is to try to burn it off. And I have this a lot with clients in the past who, work on their eating habits when they're kind of laid up from an injury, for instance, and they're shocked. They're like, I've lost more weight and I can't even walk because I broke my ankle, but I've been paying attention to what I've been eating and how much I need versus just eating whatever. And I've actually lost weight. So it's really kind of, again, their cumulative effect together benefits our health, but we should really separate them in the sense of we exercise to exercise, we eat to eat.
Absolutely. And another area that I think goes hand in hand here with the exercising and working out is the crazy diets. And we hear about the carbohydrates and protein, like gotta eat those proteins when you're done working out, or the low carbs, high protein. All of it wishy-washy, but how do you look at that when you're doing all of this?
Yeah, there's a lot out there. If you can really keep focused on balance, that is going to be the key. And so when we start doing high of one nutrient or low in another, the other two are going to go off balance because you take in 100% each day, right? So if you can think more of balancing your nutrients, when we're getting into more fitness level, sports nutrition, that kind of thing, there are some kind of key recommendations in terms of what nutrients to have before, what nutrients to have right after, even what to consume in between. And a lot of that has to do with using energy, using carbohydrates properly, linked to performance, storing carbohydrates in the muscle for the next time you use them. And honestly, a lot of the recommendations have a lot to do with digestion. So when we get the energy, so we're not consuming foods that are trying to digest when we're trying to work out. So there's a lot of different factors that come into play the more intense your exercise or your training gets.
And looking at that too, Andrea, I hear a lot of people of going to a supplement store, or they're going to go to the store and they're going to pick up these protein drinks or these I don't know, powders, pills, whatever. Do you exchange that for food, or do you know, why do people choose these routes to up that protein or to whatever they're using for those supplements? Is it really worth it?
Sure, that's a great question. You know, whatever the reasoning may be, it's good to remember that supplements are just that. So supplements should supplement regular food in our diet. So for whatever the reason is, that person can't consume adequate amount of nutrition in the amounts that they need for what they're doing, then they would, you know, focus on getting in their real food, their meals, their snacks, however the case might be, and then supplement on top of that to get them to where they need to be. Unfortunately, sometimes supplements are used in place of, so they're replacing meals, they're replacing snacks, again, for whatever reason. And so I think a good thing is to remember, you know, using supplements the right way, using them to actually enhance regular whole foods, and use them only when you need them. You know, don't feel like a magical pill or powder or shake is going to get you to the next level when you could do that by drinking a glass of milk, you know. So it doesn't always have to be so complicated and so expensive for that matter. It's a matter of really taking a look at your current situation. And I help people with this all the time. Take a look at your current situation, what's there, what's missing, what could be adjusted, and then modify and you know, give that a try, see how that works, and then readjust after that. So yeah, I think that's a big piece in kind of putting perspective to the whole supplemental piece.
Yeah, I like that. But the perspective of looking at that, you know, it's by person. It's not an overall general thing to understand.
Right.
Sticking in the kind of the drink world, we and something really curious. This is where I become fascinated as well. Is sport drinks. So you know, we hear about the Gatorades. We hear about these drinks. Why are they really working? Are they really beneficial to everything that's going on here as the fitness person is looking at hydrating?
Sure. So the whole basis of sports drinks in general is basically to replenish what you just excreted or what you just let go. So if you expend a lot of energy, you're going to need carbohydrates to replenish that energy, right? If you sweat, you're going to need electrolytes to replenish what you just sweat out. So you kind of rebalance things. So interestingly enough, you know, you can get those nutrients through food. So they've just become kind of a quick and easy way to get the key things: carbohydrates, potassium, sodium, interestingly. So, you know, I've had people in the past who just take some salt water after a workout and eat a banana. It's kind of essentially accomplishing all of that, but they just, because they don't want to buy or drink a sports drink. So it's a matter of what are you trying to accomplish? And in that case, it's what you just expended, you're trying to replenish to put your body back in balance. So with that, sports drinks don't do a whole lot of good if you're just kind of hanging out watching TV. You know, they're not going to, you know, build muscle. They're not going to like do these things that we, you know, imagine that they could do. It's really just a simple way to get those specific nutrients in very easily in a pre-made drink.
Another drink and one that we've talked about, and it just throws me off because I would never imagine turning to this drink after a workout, but is milk, chocolate milk, a drink of choice when you're choosing to rehydrate?
You know, it can be a great option for some people, especially if they tolerate milk well. That's kind of the first key there. But if you look at the makeup or the anatomy of milk, it has carbohydrate, it has a decent amount of protein for recovery, it has some sodium, and it has potassium for the electrolytes, in addition to other nutrients. So it does kind of have everything all in one package. Economically, you get a lot for what you pay for. And what I mean by that is you get a lot of nutrition for what you're paying for. It's, readily available, easily accessible. The whole concept behind the chocolate milk piece of it, again, is that additional added sugar that the premise is you expended all your energy and all of your muscle stores. And so you're taking that opportunity to replenish and get that back in shortly after a workout, an event, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to catch me dead ever drinking chocolate milk after any workout or range of motion, but hey, whatever suits you, go for it. Andrea, I wish we had more time. A lot of great information. If people want to learn more, questions, whatever, where can people find you?
Yeah, so we have the link to go directly to my webpage on Hy-Vee.com. And customers can reach out to me by email, phone, and virtually through our new secure platform.
Perfect. Andrea, thank you so much. Great information, and get out there and work out, and diet right too, I guess, right? It all comes together at some point. Both. So all right, Andrea, thank you so much. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds great.
All right, Andrea Miller, Hy-Vee here, serving all of Madison locations here. So if you got any questions, you'll find her somewhere out there, and certainly just send her an email. She's great at responding. I've asked her a couple of questions myself. She does a really good job. So you can check in with her, answer all those questions. Take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.